gets in. Carry On Alice breaks their hearts again.
Pulling clear in the closing stages. Smart Call wins the Jambi Mid. And Smart Call comes home to win it in the main Chance Farms Paddock Stakes.
A warm welcome to this week's edition of Breeding to Win, gearing up for November, a busy month for CTS and the Breeding to Win show. And of course, we've got the CTS Empress Palace ready to run sale taking place towards the end of the month. That takes place in Gauteng on the 24th and 25th of November at Randkiesfontein. So lots of action happening this month of November, but let's take a look at what you can look forward to on this edition of Breeding to Win. We start off with the Lanzarek Race Day preview. We go to the beach with Justin Snaith. We chat to Candice Robinson. We catch up with Phil Giorgio, as well as winning owner Michael Leaf of the CTS Ready to Run race, which took place at the beginning of November.
Every sip, the taste uniquely Dunkin'. Each cup, uniquely you. Brewed fresh because it's not just any coffee, it's your coffee. Your Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'.
Risk and reward. Odds and evens. Facts and form. Come and play. Play and win. At Track and Ball. Track and Ball Gaming, a new South African sportsbook offering the latest local and worldwide prices. Branches in Chatsworth, Stanger, Durban North, Shelley Beach, Pietermaritzburg and Richards Bay. To open an account or bet online, visit trackandball.co.za.
Inglis Premier is our winning formula, offering over 700 quality yearlings across 4 days and prepared by Australia and New Zealand's leading consigners, producing elite racehorses like Agugu, Alboran Sea, Mac Delago and the Conglomerate.
The Conglomerate sweeps into the lead. The Conglomerate, Bella Bella.
Melbourne Premier is our winning formula. The 2017 Melbourne Premier Yearling Sale, February 26 to March 1 at Oaklands, Melbourne. For information, visit inglis.com.au.
One of the highlights on the Cape Racing calendar, no doubt, is the Lanzarek Ready to Run Cup. Now, of course, that takes place next Saturday. Joanna Looms tells us all about it.
The 2.5 million rand Lanzarek Ready to Run Stakes will be held at Kenilworth on Saturday the 19th of November, and it's just around the corner now. And with me this morning at Lanzarek Hotel is Marketing Manager Joanna Looms. Joanna, lovely to see you this morning.
Good morning, Fiona. So lovely to have you and the Breeding to Win team here.
Now, this is your 4th year with the race.
It is indeed 4 years of the Lanzarek Ready to Run Stakes. And with only 2 weeks to go, we're getting incredibly excited.
Yes, with just under 2 weeks to go, how are the preparations going?
Things are certainly heating up at the hotel. We're building momentum as to what's going to be a very exciting event. Next week we move into Kenilworth with a tent going up and all the decor moving in. So a very busy 2 weeks ahead.
And it's all about taking Lanzarek Hotel to the racecourse.
It is indeed. We transport the Lanzarek guest experience to Kenilworth for the day, so it's an incredibly exciting time for us to showcase our product.
And I know the marquee will be just beautiful.
It is. It's really going to top the last 3 events. What we're doing this year is definitely very, very special, and I think all of our guests will be well impressed.
And you've got your own chef on course.
Yes, the Lanzerac Executive Chef, Stephen Fraser, will be showcasing the Lanzerac food movement at Kenilworth. He'll be treating us to a 4-course set menu, which will be paired with the Lanzerac wines. So our winemaker, Wynand Lateghan, will be there with all of the Lanzerac wines, with a lot of the new vintages launching at the race day.
And hospitality-wise?
Hospitality-wise, we've got a very exciting entertainment lineup, with Zamar showcasing the welcome drinks. So we're hoping guests will arrive early to really maximise the entertainment this year. Zamar will be doing the pre-drinks for the guests, followed by Marnus Daniel, who is a classic pianist. We've got a baby grand coming into the tent. And then after racing, we'll be turning it up a notch with the Swing Collective.
And numbers-wise, how's it looking?
Again, as it has been the last 3 events, definitely a sellout event.
Now, in terms of the racing, some very, very good horses have come out of the race and gone on to win graded races. Must make you very proud.
The Lanzerac team is extremely proud of the platform that the Lanzerac Ready to Run Stakes gives to the thoroughbreds to go on to win graded races, yes.
What time are you expecting the guests to arrive on course?
We're really hoping that the guests will arrive early this year. The invitation is from 11 o'clock. As I mentioned prior, Zamar is our entertainment, and we have a very exciting welcome drink for the guests. We've partnered with Capensis, which is a very trendy craft gin, and they will be treating all the guests at the Lanzerac Ready to Run Stakes with the pre-drink.
Sounds really exciting, get everyone in the right mood for the day. And the dress code Classic Extravagance sounds very, very exciting.
Yes, Classic Extravagance is the dress code for this year, so we're really hoping that guests will take the dress code to the next level. Really wonderful outfits and stunning hats. Myself and 2 of the female presenters on the race course for this year will be dressed by a fashion emporium in Stellenbosch called Indecent. So it will really be showcasing Stellenbosch's local wear, which is very exciting for our town.
Yes, it's lovely to see the ladies and gentlemen in beautiful dresses and hats. It just makes racing very special.
It is, yes.
What will your part be on the day?
The Lanzerac management team will be there on the day to host all the guests. Lanzerac has a very exciting guest list of potential customers and clients of ours, so we really hope to showcase our hospitality to our valued guests.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for chatting to us this morning. I'm really looking forward to the Lanzerac Ready to Run Stakes.
Thank you, Fiona.
Your world of winners is now online at www.teletrack.com. Simply subscribe to log into your account from any mobile device in South Africa and access a wide variety of content from our membership package options. Listen in via a live audio stream, catch live racing locally and internationally, or view a wide variety of Teletrack magazine shows to stay informed and updated on the go at any time. It's never been easier. Go to teletrack.com now.
Well, don't forget to get all the action on teletrack.com. And as we mentioned in the beginning of the show, that of course the gallops leading up to the CTS Empress Palace Ready to Run sale takes place on Monday, the 21st of November. Don't miss out on those gallops. You can get all the action on teletrack.com. Well, let's take a look at Justin Snaith on the beach. Always exciting to see how his horses enjoy the sea.
We're back at Snaith HQ after a wonderful morning on the beach. Justin, the horses must really enjoy that.
It's the best part of the day, and it costs nothing, which is the most. There's so few things nowadays in life that don't cost anything, and for me, it's the best thing I can do for them. It's the advantage of training here in Cape Town, and we make the most of it.
Well, not only is it a change of scenery, but it's good for their joints and that side of it too.
Everything, even to the rolling, they love it on their coats. It's good for that. Any sort of skin disease, anything, the salt water, it surely got to help. Horses with foot abscesses, swollen legs, anything. Horses that have been operated on, horses that have done tendons. The list is just endless. People try and make spas and things to be like the idea of taking a horse into the ocean, but there's nothing like the real thing.
And you sort of alternate the horses and take them once a week?
Correct. We take a lot of our horses going to the big races, and as I said, horses with problems, and we alternate them just to which horses we think will benefit most from it.
You're having a phenomenal season so far, and the Cape season is here. You must be so confident going into it.
We are. I was confident before we started the season. Between my brother, John Freeman, my dad, there's been a lot of work behind the scenes in the last year or so. We thought that the industry and actually South Africa, we predicted about a year ago that everyone's going to be tightening up, including ourselves. Fees, horse feed has gone up 35%. Grooms' wages have gone up 25%. We were lucky. I got my brother with the brains. if I ran the business, we'd probably be out of business. But he predicted a year ago, so we tightened up. We went out and we approached clients, new clients, to get involved in the industry, and we're reaping the benefits down the line. So we're very confident going into the season. But even when you're winning, you're not winning. Because we won so many races and the horses are participating, people seem to think, well, then you've got too many horses. So there's always a catch-22 to it. But our horses earn their money. We really race them a lot. So that's what they're here to do. But sometimes people take it the wrong way.
You've got such a great string. It's difficult for you to single them out. But your great big hopes for the big races this season.
For the first time ever in our career, we could actually say that we're competitive in every part of racing, from sprinters in the Group 1s to the middle distance horses, to the stayers, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds. We're very competitive. If I had to actually think where we're quite weak, would be our 3-year-old fillies at the moment, but that might change in the choice carriers. That would only be our chink in our armour. But bar that, we've got horses like Bella Bella, a horse Star Express, very good filly. Nothing got closer to Bella Bella in the Durban season than Star Express in her gallop. She's making a return after injuring at Greyville. It's My Turn. Unfortunately, he was injured at Greyville in the July. The fact that he actually ran fourth is amazing. He's a nice horse for maybe like the Met. Horses like Black Arthur. As I said, you get to the 3-year-olds, Zodiac Ruler, who's having his first run on Saturday. Yeah, they're all making their comeback into the season, and as I said, we're quite confident. Like the Ready to Run race, we've got Bishop's Bounty, horses like that, Sergeant Hardy. We're strong everywhere.
With the Sunmet announcement, that was just fantastic, but it's actually made the season quite condensed. How does that affect you as a trainer?
Look, I don't mind it. I actually prefer it. Let's get the big racing. People come for the right days and get it over. The Durban season's over 4 months. It's too long. It's just, if you go anywhere in the world, their carnivals are much shorter, quicker. You go now, you've got the Melbourne Cup. They've got a short, big a season where the horses run consistently and quite a lot, which is fantastic. So for me, the Met needed a change. It was really, really in dire straits, in my opinion, of just becoming another JMB Met. And with Sun International, it's just going to give it that little twist that it needed to bring something new into the industry.
And the 2 days for the Queen's Plate, that's also quite exciting.
Yes, that means 2 more hangovers, so can't wait. Fantastic initiative. It works in other countries, and that's what I like. I think a Ladies' Day on the Friday is just what it just adds that dimension to the Queen's Plate. And Laura will be there, and that the fancy cars and the lovely dresses, and we really want to showcase what some of our winners on that day. So really hoping for a big day on both days.
And all the sales races that are being put on for us, it's really great, doing great wonders for racing.
Correct. It's not easy as a trainer, because we went to the Ready to Run now, and Mr. Van Niekerk announces, okay, well, there's now a R2.5 million race in January. So as we were purchasing all these horses, and the owners would say, don't forget the race on Met Day. Don't forget, I bought this to run in that race, and I'm looking at the pedigree, and it's bred to go 2,000 meters. Okay. So it's quite, it just makes people get more involved and hope for, having a winner on Met Day. So I think it's a fantastic initiative. Our 2-year-old racing needs it badly. Our 2-year-old racing has gone, you cannot compare it to anywhere in the world. It's so weak at the moment, and we really need to up our stakes in 2-year-old racing, because it gives owners quick return. So I think it's such a great idea.
With me from Green Street Bloodstock is Justin Veermark, Director. Justin, Green Street Bloodstock has just become so successful in actually quite a short period of time.
Yeah, Fee, it's been, I think we opened up about 2 years ago, but obviously after purchasing horses at those sales, it took about a year for them to run. So we've had a lot of runners for the past 12 months or so. We passed our 100th runner about 2 weeks ago, and we're up to 13 or 14 winners, I think, now, which is a pretty decent strike rate. So we're very happy, very lucky. We've had great support from all of our owners, and hopefully now the horses can kick on and we can get some group and stakes performers.
You've got a lot to offer, haven't you, as in owners getting involved and syndicates. Also, you do the tipping line, you keep a live sort of website and blogs. There's a lot going on for everybody.
Yeah, it is a lot. It's a nice package, and we have a lot of first-time owners and a lot of owners who left the game and we've brought back. So just getting involved, I think, is the key part. So many guys find it difficult to get involved, make that first step, which we make a bit easier. And then we keep them in the loop all the time. And we were at the beach this morning, and we had one of our owners of a filly that won last week at the beach. And for someone who's not a trainer or a bloodstock agent per se, it's a rare feeling, and it's a rare thing to enjoy. So he had a thorough morning this morning. And as I say, the guys are extremely happy when you have winners, which I think is the most important part.
And how do new people get involved? I mean, they can look you up on the website, give you a call?
Yeah, absolutely. They look us up on the website. Our social media presence is very good and very big. We're always out there tweeting, and our website is managed by Charles Pretorius, who's an integral part of our team, and he gets our presence out there on the web. And they can contact us, Facebook, Twitter, on our website. We've got a lot of interesting things going at the moment. We've just expanded into Singapore, and our first of our 2 horses we've got there, our first is running this weekend. So we're aiming him for a race on Gold Cup Day, and which is on the 21st of November, I think. We're taking a group of our owners out there to watch him run on Gold Cup Day. So hopefully that our syndicates in Singapore start off with a bang, and hopefully we can grow more owners here in South Africa, which is the key. And I think we're seeing now with all these new introductions of races from Cape Thoroughbred sales, like the R1 million 2-year-old race on Met Day. We bought a couple of horses there, and that Ready to Run concept is so integral to what we do, because we can buy horses and then the owners can have a runner within 2-3 months. They don't have to wait a year, which for new owners that don't quite understand the gist of everything, it's a valuable commodity. So we purchased a few horses there, and hopefully we'll be featuring on Sun Met Day.
And you're growing from strength to strength. It's not just racing, it's breeding as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got, on the racing side, we have 45 horses in training at the moment with about 12 or 13 different trainers around South Africa. And then we've grabbed a group of mares as well. So a lot of our owners are quite keen on doing the breeding side of things as well. So we've syndicated some mares. And we're looking to breed some of our own horses, and hopefully we can breed, own and race a few of our own champions. Our staff, Green Street, is not just me anymore. It was 18 months ago, but we have Charles working for us. We have Ashley de Klerk, who's an integral part of our team. She does accounts and handles PR and that type of thing. And then an old schoolmate of mine called Kyle Johnson, who helps out as well. And then obviously we retain Bernard Fadeherb, who's now in Mauritius at the moment, but he gets a lot of word out there on the internet for us as well, and he's a good representative. So we've got a strong team behind us, and with more support from our owners, we're hoping to grow that number of horses in training.
To already have your toe in internationally is fantastic.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. Obviously, we're talking in dollar terms, which for a rand buyer is not that easy. But once you see the stake money you can earn there, which is pretty high. I mean, maiden races here are about 80,000 rand, and in Singapore they 750,000 rand, which is a huge difference. And there's huge benefits. You get $900 every time you have a runner as an appearance fee per se. And it's on our screen twice a week, so now owners can have a horse running there, not just a horse that they can bet on.
Justin, thank you very much for chatting to us this morning, and may Green Street Bloodstock just continue to grow.
Absolutely. Thanks very much for the opportunity. Thank you.
New Turf Carriers has been in long-distance transport since 1995 and pride themselves in excellent service. The bottom line is, New Turf Carriers take your horse from door to door with pride, passion and punctuality.
One of the most exciting new stallions on the block, no doubt, is What a Winter, managed by John Freeman. Let's take a look at his profile.
What a Winter was a unique racehorse blessed with precocity, speed, and a brilliant temperament. The lightning-fast sprinting son of Western Winter won 15 races, including 4 Grade 1s, the Computerform Sprint, the Cape Flying Championship twice, and the Mercury Sprint. In short, he was a world-class sprinter.
What a Winter is flying down the inside, and What a Winter has won the Computerform Sprint. What a Winter, what a sprinter.
His foals are balanced with plenty of size and scope.
down here on the Cape, the weather, the grass, the horses, here's where it is, Main Chance Farm, Champion Breeders.
Well, it's my absolute pleasure to welcome the first female trainer onto the Breeding to Win show, Candice Robinson. Lovely to have you on the line.
Hi, Julie. Thank you. It's always nice to chat to you.
Now, how are things going for you since you've taken over the reins from your father?
Yeah, it's going well, Julie. It's been a little bit quiet, obviously leading up into the season now. We've had a lot of horses sort of resting and what have you, so we're getting going now before the season. And we've got a full yard of horses, and hopefully a couple of nice ones for the season to look forward to. So we're looking forward to it. But otherwise, all's going well.
Now, from your side, Candice, as a daughter and as a trainer, has there been much change in your lifestyle now taking over the reins and having all the responsibility on your shoulders?
Barring all the responsibility, not really, no. Pretty much the same as what I have been doing for the last however long. I've been there, 15 years now, so there's not a lot of change. Julie, obviously just now, the responsibility all sits with me, and maybe a bit more pressure, but otherwise, no. Work-wise, it's pretty much the same.
Okay.
Our yard is quite busy at the moment. That's the only thing we're quite full, so it's, from that perspective, we are busier than what we used to be, but otherwise, pretty much the same.
Good and exciting times ahead, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay, now we've just come out of the Lanzarek CTS Ready to Run sale. You guys were pretty busy at the sale, but I believe you've got some opportunities for new buyers to get involved in your stable.
Yes, Julie, we have. We pinhooked a couple of horses ourselves and some of our clients in the earlier sales in the year, and with the wanting to send them to the Ready to Run sale. Unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of money at the sale, and quite a couple of them we decided that we were going to buy back. Obviously, having had them in pre-training prior to the sale, there were a couple of nice horses there that we felt were nice options, and they've ended up coming back into the yard. And so we've got about 6 there that we have shares available in.
Okay.
And I can possibly just quickly go through them with you.
Yep, take us through it, Candice.
Yeah, the first one we've got is a jackpot colt out of a mare called Green Africa. He's a very nice colt, Julie. He's a tall, leggy type of colt. He's got a good depth on him and got lovely action. A horse that I think will certainly get ground. The jackpots are doing fairly well, and especially over ground, I think they're a nice type. And he comes from a good family. The native Fable family, and there's 100% available in him. I think he's going to be a nice horse. He's maybe not going to be the earliest of horses, but certainly going to be a nice horse in time. And there's 100% available in him, I think, at 170,000 rand. Basically all these horses, what we've done is the original costs at the original sales, and then we've just added on the stabling and training costs, and that's what their prices are. So they're all pretty good value. The second horse is a horse chestnut colt out of a barn mare, McLean. He's a nice colt, Julie. He's a big, strong, he's a well-grown colt, stands over ground, but he's got a beautiful action. I think his dam was a 3-time winner, and he comes from the family General Franco and Spanish Field, that family. He's a very nice colt, and he too is 100% available for 160,000. The third one is a What a Winter colt out of a Parade Leader mare, and I have to say, quite a lot of my What a Winters that I've got in already, my 2-year-olds, really have shown a lot, and I've been really happy with them. I think this Ready to Run sale was perhaps a little bit on the early side for him. He's quite an immature colt, but a good size, and he's a nice strong colt too, but I think going to need a bit of time. But in time, I think he's going to be a very nice horse. And there is 75% available in him. At 180,000, I think he was for the whole horse, and so there are 75% left. Then the fourth one is a colt by Murdoch Flyer out of an Eliador mare, Light Within. He's he also was a little bit backward, I think, for this Ready to Run sale. But he's a handsome colt, leggy colt, with a lovely action. I've actually sent him back to the farm now. I think he needs a little bit more time. You know, he comes out of what his dam like within is well performed this far. Her progeny, she's had they've all been multiple winners. So I think he's going to be a nice horse in time to come. And he also, I've got, I think, 100% available in him as well. And then the fifth one, Cape Extreme, another What a Winter colt out of the Fort Woodmere Cape Floral. He's a very attractive colt. Julie, he really is a lovely colt, and he's got a lovely action, and he's got very good muscle tone. You know, he comes from that really nice family, Casino Queen and the Rabbitashi Olympic Gold, so they've all got a little bit of speed too, and I think he certainly will go around the turn. But yeah, he was certainly an eye catcher, and you know, there's 50% available in him left. I think his sale price was $250, and so half available at $125K, but a really nice colt. And then the last filly is a filly called Sweet Aspen. She's a 2-year-old filly by Give Me the Green Light, out of the Grays in there. And she was bought on the Book One sale, and one of the partners is wanting to sell their share to dilute her shares, and so there's 50% available in her. She's a very elegant filly, black filly with a white face. You know, she's got a good depth to her, and she's also she's the direct family of his chestnut himself, so she's got quite a nice pedigree too. And there is 50% available for her at $140,000. And she obviously then qualifies for the $1 million race, as does the Jackpot. I think the Jackpot and the Horse Chestnut Colt as well. They both qualify for the $1 million race, as well as that CTS R1 million race in January.
Okay, so
those are the And
nice opportunity.
It's nice. They're all very nice. They're all nice horses. I can't really say that any of them are not nice. So you know, they're all nice horses to get available to get involved in. That's you know, not over the top prices. And then we've also got just lastly, we've got a 5-horse syndicate in Durban as well, which are a couple of shares still available in that. You know, it's quite a nice opportunity for people to have a bit of fun while spreading the risk amongst 5 different horses, although you've got small shares in each one. There's 3 fillies and 2 colts, and quite a nice mix. And, you know, a couple of them are quite early, so 1 or 2 of them will be out in the first juvenile races, which is quite nice to start early with. And I think it's 27,500 rand for a share of that syndicate, where you have, you know, a share of 5 different horses.
Very nice.
That's basically it.
Lovely, Candice. Thank you for joining us on the Breeding to Win team. And I think if there are any interested people, you can get hold of either Candice Robinson or her brother, Mark Bass. And we wish them all the very best with those horses and the syndication of those horses.
Great. Thanks, Julie.
Thank you, Candice.
We believe in excellence. We believe that if you're going to do something, you do it to your best ability. We aim to make Balmoral #1 in the Southern Hemisphere, not just South Africa.
Time Thief stands at Naddison Park, owned by Hassan Adams and situated in one of the most beautiful places on the planet. Time Thief is a son of Redoubt's Choice. He's out of the mare Procrastinate, which makes him a half-brother to Laissez-Faire. Undoubtedly the best sprinting filly that this country has seen for many, many a year.
Phil Giorgio, well known around the racing circles, chats to Fiona Ramsden about an investment opportunity in Mauritius. Let's find out more.
We're sitting here at the airport in Durban, and with me is Philip Giorgio, straight back from Mauritius. Philip, firstly, you're obviously a huge travel agent, huge in racing, but we're used to knowing you for your great Dubai tours.
Yes, well, you know, obviously we have started this travel agency 20 odd years ago, and being an avid horse racing fan, we decided to push out and do tours on the racing industry, and it's been very successful for us.
And as I said, you're now back from Mauritius. Now, what we want to talk about today is the new holiday property investment opportunity that's going on there. Tell us a little bit about that, please.
Yes, well, a couple of years back I developed two pieces of property, one which was in the northwest of the island, basically just outside Grand Bay, and we basically sold the investment to predominantly the racing industry, and then we had an overflow of buyers, believe it or not. So we then got coaxed into doing another development. We did our second development in the same sort of area, basically where the sun goes down. And then a good friend of mine, Dean Heyman, approached me and said, listen, we've got this opportunity to get involved in a piece of land and do yet another investment opportunity. And then, so hence the birth of Coral de Plage.
And this new development, I believe, is between Port Louis and Grand Bay, a great place for racing enthusiasts.
Yes, very much so. You know, with us marketing and our focus is very much the racing industry, we decided to look at this piece of land. We managed to acquire it, and we've got some exciting, innovative ideas that we're going to be doing, syndications for guys that may want to race in Mauritius. And then we're going to do the obvious trip to Port Louis, to Champs de Mars, and then we'll do a sundowner cruise on the way back to the complex, where we'll be able to land a cat there on our jetty.
That's fantastic. And tell us a little bit about the facilities.
The unit is it's unique. It's the only 5-star self-catering investment opportunity where on-site you'll have self-catering units. There'll be a gym, there'll be an on-site, we call it a raw restaurant. It's basically anything that's raw. So you can get a baguette or a fruit salad or yogurt or a cappuccino. There's going to be an on-site conferencing facility, on-site car rental. The boat, there will be an on-site boat which belongs to the complex. So if you're going to come on there with your kids and you want to decide, I want to tube a bit or do some parasailing, you've got a boat that's got petrol in, got a driver, it's insured, it belongs to the complex, and you just basically book your time. What we believe is very unique is this investment opportunity is basically into a company which has the rights to develop and manage the complex. The units come completely fully furnished. They come with DSTV, Wi-Fi, 24-hour security, private pools in every unit, fully inclusive. So it's got all your bedding, your crockery, your cutlery, and in fact we've arranged that we've got a management company that will look after the units, and the units will be serviced 7 days a week. So what you're getting is in actual fact basically a 5-star hotel with self-catering prices.
That's fabulous. Everything a family could want.
Yep, and I can tell you now that most people now that are in corporate don't want to get into smart pants and jackets and ties for dinner. They just want to stay in their baggies all day.
And I think it also gives them the opportunity to go and try new restaurants in the area and do what they want to do.
Yeah, that is very much so also the option, because people that go to a restaurant in a hotel for 7 days go to the same restaurant, have just about the same food. This gives you the opportunity to really try different restaurants, go into Grand Bay, into Port Louis, because you're so close to both of them. And also the very, very strong selling point is that we're 45 minutes from the airport only.
Yes, you do become very sort of drawn into what the hotel offers, so it's great to have that opportunity. You've got good restaurants in the area, and as I said before, the race course, so it's marvellous, and golf courses.
Golf courses in Mauritius, I can tell you now that I've played quite a few golf courses all around the world, and the golf courses in Mauritius match up to the best that I've ever played, and they really are of high quality.
Philip, the interest you've had so far?
The interest from the racing industry in particular has been unbelievable. You know, last week I had the opportunity to go down to the Cape sales, the Ready to Run sales, and while I was there I took advantage of being able to see a couple of people, and it's been unbelievable. I mean, we've sold probably 12 investments already without trying too hard, and the exciting part is that one is able to take the investment, to raise a guarantee on the various facilities that we've got, and in fact it's a completion guarantee, so you don't actually have to part with any cash until in fact the unit is actually finished. So it's very exciting for people that have got a bit of money, that want to basically see what they're getting before they part with their cash.
South Africa and Mauritius share many synergies with the horse racing and visiting there for holidays. It's a great combination.
Well, you know, South Africans are the biggest, Mauritius is the biggest destination for South Africans for holiday, certainly for the honeymooners, and the majority of racehorses that race in Mauritius are bought from South Africa. So we have a great relationship with them.
And how do people really get to know about this? Is there a website where we can find out more?
Yes, well, what we've done is we've only just recently got our paperwork in order, and on a roadshow to Cape Town, I managed to really get some serious investors involved, with the likes of Bryn Russell, Marsha Cliff, James Drew, Mike Fullard, John Costa, Grant Knowles. There's a lot of the guys that are big players in the industry that have seen the light and really been taken aback by what we've been able to offer from an investment point of view. And yeah, so we're very excited at what we got.
It's absolutely fantastic. And you're into the racing yourself. Do you like to go racing in Mauritius?
I do when I'm spoilt and I can get upstairs to the members section and all that. But, you know, you get just about 30,000 people at racing every single meeting. So unless you're spoilt and have the opportunity to go upstairs to an owner's box or to the members, it's chaos.
And you've had great success, obviously, with Harris' son, with Paul Lafferty, and yourself with racing. You're a great racing enthusiast.
Yeah, you know, I always say to my friends, I'm never going to die wondering. We've got a very good racehorse which we thought was good enough to compete overseas, and we've taken our chances. He's still only 5. He's only had a couple of runs now. He had his comeback run on Arc Day in the Prix de Forêt. He ran 7.5 lengths behind, missed the break, ran on a course which the camber's to the left, which is very unusual, but ran on quite nicely. And his big test now comes on the 30th. He's running in a Group 3 at St. Cloud, and we're hoping he's going to do well. And if he does well, then we hope he gets an invite to the Hong Kong Mile and springboard back into Dubai again.
And with the new Mauritian interest, I mean, are you expecting bookings all year round, I guess?
You know, Mauritius, certainly in the peaks from a South African point of view, there's unlimited demand for self-catering. But from our travel point, we do a lot with Mauritius. We do quite a lot of numbers there.
I know a lot of our horses end up racing in Mauritius, and most of the trainers do go there for their holidays and love following them, so it is a great opportunity.
Well, you know, I can just echo someone like Mike de Kock, who's got a lot of horses going into quarantine in Mauritius. So he decides to do his annual holiday there for 10 days or 2 weeks. Gives him an opportunity to get to the quarantine station, look at his horses, and then also be able to chill a little bit.
I know you've got a wonderful brochure and a website where people can find out a little bit more about this opportunity, and we will give those details out on Breeding to Win this evening. Philip, thank you very much for chatting to us, and good luck with the new venture.
Thank you very much.
We've had a glorious day out at Turfentine Racecourse on Piermont Emperor's Palace Charity Mile Day, but one of the highlights was certainly the CTS Ready to Run race. 2.5 million rand, with victory going the way of Chili Con Carne, bred, owned by Michael Leaf and trained by Lucky Hoodolakis, ridden to victory by Gavin Larena. It was a superb ride, but an even emphatic victory by this young individual. And with me, it's my pleasure to introduce to the Breeding to Win show, Michael Leaf. And Michael, I have to say, it's a privilege for me to be interviewing you because you're one of the stalwarts in the game, you're very passionate, and you're an awesome sportsman.
Thank you, you're so kind.
Let's talk about Chili Con Carne, because, I mean, he went into this race having his 9th start. He was only a one-time winner, so he had the experience behind him. And it's almost like a dream come true, because he came into this race a little bit of as an underdog.
I suppose in a way, but he was showing some great work. And then there was a particular race, you know, a 1,200 meter race where he was 15 lengths off the leaders, and he flew at the finish. And I think people ignore that. And the problem is the jockeys always felt good about him. But the concern was they felt that if you put blinkers on him, it would probably make a huge difference. And today, that made the biggest difference. And the fact that if you have a jockey like Gavin Larena, you might as well, you know, write the check up, because he makes such an amazing difference to a horse.
Now, he's from a stallion who's not really well known, and that's just as well. And you bred him, so tell us the whole story behind him, because I can imagine owning a horse, how excited you must be, but it must be even more thrilling to actually have bred them and to own them.
I got a mare called Wonderglow through Robbie Sage, and this mare, I didn't end up racing her, so I wanted to breed with her. And because I knew Anton Proctor, because he had bred one of my mares before, Sabrine's Choice, he recommended Just as well. He felt that would be a great match. And so I followed his direction, and obviously this is what happened. But the strangest thing, I wanted to sell this horse. I put it on the sale to sell it, and I couldn't get a bid, and I ended up buying it back. And I was very upset with Lucky for getting me to buy this horse back. But look how the clock, how everything has turned around. I mean, he's come and won this race, so it's been quite amazing.
Well, they say horses kind of choose their owners and their trainers. We don't really choose them. And I think that's probably what happened in the situation, is that he didn't want to go anywhere. He wanted to be with you for a special reason.
Absolutely. And in fact, the only credit I can take for is the name, because the breeding was done by Anton Proctor. He chose Just as well. Lucky did the training. Gavin rode the horse. And all I came up was the name Chili Con Carne. I heard this Nat King Cole song, Let There Be Love, and in it are the words Chili Con Carne, which really relates to a hot curry dish. So this is how, that's my contribution to the horse.
But a beautiful contribution. But I don't think, don't take too much away from yourself, because at the end of the day, in my opinion, you got the most important thing for Chili Con Carne, and that was his mother.
Oh yes,
the female, of course.
Thank you, thank you. And now she's also had a foal from Wiley Hall, and she's now moving on to Dynasty, and hopefully we will get some success with her.
I think she is. I think after this win, I think you've certainly put on the map. The question now going forward, Michael, is are you going to be happy to let them go when they're on sale, or are you going to be still looking to maybe take a chance and hold one or two back?
I must admit, I think about doing that often, but I usually look to people like John Freeman just to guide me as to say whether it's worthwhile selling or to keep them and so on. But one never knows, you know, and this has been amazing for me. In fact, this is the same thing that happened with Lineker last year. I wanted to sell Lineker. John convinced me to keep Lineker together with Chris Snaith, and I ended up keeping Lineker, and it won the Ready to Run race last year. So it's two years in a row.
But you were telling me off air that you're now going to Cape Town for the Lanzarek Ready to Run sale, because you got Bishop's Bounty holding your colours, and of course we'll be holding thumbs for you there.
Thank you, thank you. I'm hoping that we can make it a double, but you never know in racing. But I've got a great trainer in Justin Snape, and you know, so we are extremely hopeful.
Tell us how many, because obviously you've got shares in Wiley Hall now as a stallion. Do you have shares in other stallions?
In Dynasty, I have a share in Dynasty.
Awesome. So I mean, you fly. From a breeding perspective, I mean, you've got Dynasty, now you've got Wiley Hall coming through, and I think if Wiley Hall can just give his progeny a little bit of a heart that he had, I think you might have some nice youngsters on your hands.
I think so. His foals have been great, and I think that Wiley Hall, out of reduced choices, will be quite a phenomenon. I think that people should look out for him and we should invite more people to come in and send their mares to Wiley, because I really think that he could be something special.
Tell us about your mares at stud, Michael. So you're involved with 2 stallions. How many mares are you involved with?
I've got 25 mares.
Sure.
And then I've got quite a number of foals on the farm. And then obviously I've got the racing stock. Some of them are still 2-year-olds. And I've spread out most of my horses, you know, through the various stables in Joburg, Durban, Port Elizabeth, Cape Town. And obviously to try and give my horses a chance wherever they can, rather than keeping them in one jurisdiction.
You've done it very professionally. So obviously John Freeman is the man that's guided you with a lot of your breeding, and possibly the results are now starting to filter through. Is this a bit of a retirement package for you that you've decided to do?
Well, I am semi-retired because I've moved away from, you know, running a business now into the things I love to do, racing horses, breeding them, and obviously other personal interests. But, you know, I'm blessed to have people like John that, you know, has done very well for me in terms of helping with the breeding side. And also not forgetting Vaughan Costa at Chevrolet Stud. He has played his part and he puts a lot into this. And so we are a team together in the sense that we are trying to make something of what we have.
What I love about your attitude is that you take the good with the bad.
and you're not a sore loser. And for racing, that is so hard because it's a tough game. Let's make no mistakes. You get your highs and you get your lows, but there's more lows than highs. And when Wiley Hall lost the July on that objection, the way you went on air and you congratulated the other winners and you said, well, that's racing, I thought, wow, you know what, you went up 10 notches in my book, and I thought, that's the type of person we want in racing, because at the end of the day, it is a sport, and you took that result as a sportsman should.
Thank you. I think sometimes the game is probably bigger than the man, and I think that we must always try to project that. I must admit that out of that came some great friendships. I mean, people that I've now got to know, who I didn't know before then, and I'm great to have them around. Are people like John Freeman, are people like Vaughn Costa, are people like Jack Mitchell. I mean, these are guys that I have benefited immensely, because now today I have a horse together with Jack Mitchell, a horse called One Direction, which we hope will go on to do great things. But those friendships, would I have had them if not for what happened? One never knows.
Well, we wish you all the best with Chili Con Carne for the future. We look forward to seeing Bishop Bounty at Kenilworth Racecourse on Lanzarek Ready to Run race day. And we wish you all the best with your mares, with your foals, and of course with your 2 stallions. And we look forward to interviewing you back in the winner's enclosure shortly.
Thank you, Judy.
Michael Leaf, thank you very much for joining us on the Breeding to Win show. Well, that's a wrap for this week's edition of Breeding to Win. Don't forget to stay in touch with all the racing and breeding news by downloading the Breeding to Win app. From myself, Julie Alexander, and the rest of the Breeding to Win team, it's been an absolute pleasure. And we leave you with the fantastic finish of the Breeders' Cup Classic, where Arrogate ended California Chrome's perfect year.
Top of the stretch, California Chrome is a length in front, but he faces an uncommon opponent today. Arrogate tries hard to reel in California Chrome. California Chrome with Espinosa going for the whip is still in front. Arrogate trying his heart out. California Chrome from Arrogate, a pulsating climax to the Classic. Arrogate takes the lead and wins. Arrogate beat California Chrome. They were 10 lengths clear of Keen Ice, and Opportunity was 4th. Back in 5th position would be Melatonin.
Carry On Alice breaks their hearts again.
Pulling clear in the closing stages. Smart Call wins the Jambi Mid. And Smart Call comes home to win it in the main Chance Farms Paddock Stakes.